Hey guys, Stacy here. We grow again. I'm out in my garden. Just want to give you some tips on how to keep your vegetable garden or container plants healthy and alive and thriving throughout the growing season. We're hitting fall now. Everything's getting in the garden. I almost got everything transplanted. I can't wait till it fills in and I get to pick it. I'm going to flip you around and show you what's going on, okay? Alright guys, so what you're looking at is my garden I put together, and I have changed this quite a bit now. I moved all these totes back. I added cucumbers in here. I put the tomato cages on there and around there. This way it keeps them from getting dirty. I noticed some blight from happening. I did a video on how I'm treating it. You want to get it really quick, especially with all the pests and buggies down here in Florida. You can see the little leaf miners starting on there again. I've been going crazy with these leaf miners, but you just want to, now what I did was I took like plant tie, and this I just got in the dollar store. It's green plant tie, and I tied it around these 3 stakes to the bottom. This way I can move them up or down as my cucumber grows, and this is keeping my leaves off the ground really clean. You can see there's nothing splashing up on them from the dirt, no buggies hanging out, and this keeps them off the ground, healthy, away from diseases and bugs that tend to happen in the garden throughout the growing season. Now, container gardening is going to be a lot more difficult with keeping the nutrients in there than in the ground planting. So container gardening, just make sure you got the right nutrients starting out in there. I start with a Coco Loco potting mix in all my buckets and pots, and then I start with eggshells and magnesium in there as well, and I water it down so the magnesium disintegrates and breaks down. And the eggshells will start breaking down as it grows, as the plant grows. You don't have to worry about eggshells too much. You can see I have some quite a bit spread out on the ground over down there, and they'll decompose and they'll be fine. Just make sure you got some in the soil. Now when I transplant these, this is blight that I'm treating, so this is going to go away hopefully. I might cut these, I might not. It depends. Squash grows really big. This is a dark green squash, and this is only a week old. So squash grows really big. This is on a full nutrient system, Bonnie Nutrients, and I'm only giving that right now once a week. And then when it's producing and getting really big, zucchini leaves get huge. These leaves sometimes are the size of this circle, so you really want a lot of room. I'm going to have to move these cucumber totes back. And these are just containers that we pick up on the side of the road, my pots that I get on the side of the road. We found this big old pot too on the side of the road. So, you know, you can buy cheap ones. You can find things that people are throwing away. Now, when you want to harvest your tomatoes, when you get at this point, now I did a massive defoliation on this guy because I had blight going on and I'm treating it. I took all the bad leaves off, leaf miner leaves, any buggies hanging out. And I opened up my fruit. You can see that all my tomatoes are exposed now, and they're all starting to turn orange. And this was really delayed on me. You can tell, like, I harvested some that were really small, about that small already, and you can see they're starting to turn orange because I defoliated this so much. I'm going to cut this leaf off too, because you can see it's shading that, and that is going to stop your fruit from ripening. So as soon as I defoliated this, now when you defoliate, guys, the reason why I did this so drastically is because I had blight. And blight is just a fungus bacteria disease, and I didn't want to get into all these juicy looking tomatoes. So I removed all the leaves, and you only want to remove 20% of the plant at a time. You know, don't do anything drastic like 50% like I did. Do 20% one day, 20% the other day, and then you know you're not going to stress it out too much. Make sure you're giving it plenty of water. That's the main thing with gardening, especially in containers. Make sure you're giving your garden plenty of drinks of water in the morning, trying to avoid the leaves as much as you can because of burning. This tomato plant, this is a cherry tomato as well, this has grown so big since I transplanted it in this bucket. Now, it's not going to stay in here, I don't think. This is only about maybe a 3-gallon bucket, but you can see that stem on it is getting so big, and I tied it to the stick to make it nice and sturdy. This plant is going to be a great plant, and all I did, I started a Bonnie Nutrients on it. I transplanted it almost a week ago now. It's only about maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks old, so that just goes to show you how big these grow. This is string beans. They just popped out 2 days ago, and you can see something, nope, I thought something got to that and bit it off like my other one, but nothing got to it yet. And that's because I've been spraying with neem oil. You can see my leaves are clean, no blight. These cucumbers got blight a little bit on the bottom, and I just pulled the bottom leaves off because they're pretty big now, and then I treated with my neem oil, and they're going to be just fine. That neem oil kills blight and any kind of diseases. You know, it kills a lot, black spot, everything. So it's really good to use as a preventative. I use it once every 7 to 10 days in the soil, and then I use a spray foliage, especially for infestations. If I'm seeing eggs on my leaves, caterpillars eating at my leaves, I'll mist my leaves with a foliage spray. I have a video on it, and I use it for everything. My flowers, marigolds, carrots. It's all organic, so it's not going to hurt the environment, you or your pets. It's safe to use. Bees, don't spray it directly on the little bees. I love the little bees. They're buzzing around. Because it will kill them. So I only spray neem oil at night. Plus there's chance of burning. You know, if you spray early in the morning like it says you can, there's still going to be a chance that that sun's coming out and going to burn your leaves. As far as nutrients for like big ones, this is a blackberry. I did care for it. You can see just how big she's growing for me lately. These branches from that very first video, look how big these got that were trailing out in that other tote. This is the 3 of them. And look how much leaves they have on them. And this, I've only been giving, I put eggshells, magnesium in there, and I've been giving it Bonnie nutrients every 2 weeks, and I'm going to stop that because this guy is going to start going dormant soon, this blackberry. It's done producing for the summer. So is my blueberry. Did the same thing for this. And then I'm going to start trimming a little back once the fall comes around. Mid-September, late September, I'll start cutting them back a little bit, and I'll show you guys how I do that. This way they go dormant, and then they're nice and bushy for next summer, and they come back. This basil I treated with neem oil. It had bugs and stuff on it, and I'm just going to leave it here. Look how great this is doing. No bugs. They're gone. I trimmed it up. You want to keep defoliating, which just means like plucking bad stuff out. So like, you know, weird looking leaves I take off. Anything funky looking like that, or with black spots, or maybe, you know, aphid spots on them. Aphid spots are like white little marks on there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what they do to it. And I just take them on off, and you can see your basil, the more you trim basil, the more this little thing bushes out. Look at this plant. I got like 3 plants in here, and I have to transplant them because they're getting out of control. And these get Bonnie nutrients, my sweet basil, once every 2 weeks, and that's it. They have eggshells, magnesium in their soil. Let me give you some tips on my corn. Now, corns aren't really heavy feeders, but they like tons of water. Now, these I did a neem oil treatment on just to, you know, encourage any blight to get on out of there. And when this was really little, and it only had 1 or 2 stalks when I first transplanted it, you can see just how big this stalk gets and how quick. This is only about a week old as well on my transplants. And you can see where it started eating it and it stopped right dead in its tracks because of that neem oil. Now, neem oil is very strong. It's an oil, so you only want to use it just on the weaker side. I use half the strength recommended, and I only spray at night when that sun goes down, and there's no chance of it coming out. Corn likes tons of water, so I give this about 10 minutes of good water a day. I go ahead and water this one, then I go on to the next. Down the row, I got some string beans and squash around those cups there, and then I come back here, water again for a good 10-15 minutes. Corn likes tons of water. And I put pole beans. Planting pole beans by your corn is a great idea because it gives support to the corn, and also it gives nitrogen. Beans provide nitrogen that the corn needs in the soil. So that's another reason I did that. I had let me see. Yeah, that was a corn I just pulled out. That died. I didn't realize that. That was a corn that pulled out of there. But I have another one here. This one made it. This I sowed directly in the soil. So this sowing directly in the soil compared to these being transplanted, that's crazy. So starting them inside is a great idea. Starting all your plants inside from little seeds first, little seedlings, is a great idea. When they get like this big, the corn, you can start transplanting outside. You don't want to transplant your little seedlings, your sprouting, for your fall garden too early, because what's going to happen is stunting. You know, you're going to stunt your plants out a little bit. That's the squash I sowed directly in the soil. It's doing really good. This popped out quite a few days ago. You can see I put the cup around it because this is clean. There's no dirt on it. There's no backsplash happening, and you want to avoid that as much as possible. So I put a cup around it. I put a slit down the middle so it can drain the water and it doesn't pool up in here, and then I just topped it off with some styrofoam I cut up from the leftover cup. And you can see it's not, you know, it's not yellowing or anything. It looks great. So I can't wait for that to grow. Squash grows so fast, you'll see. This is little pumpkin that sprouted. I popped over here. I had some extra seeds, so I just put them in. They're doing okay. Here's another one. I don't know if this one's going to make it. Something's attacking it already, but that's okay. I'm not worried about pumpkin. My basils are coming back. These were looking horrible. Look at these. Look how burned these got from the sun lately. This one's okay. I cut this and it's coming back pretty nice. So I'm going to do that to all of them. You can see I cut all this I'm going to cut back, all this burnt looking stuff, and it's going to grow nice. So if you got sweet basil, it comes back really good. So don't throw it away. You can save it. As far as this watermelon goes, guys, it's doing good. I know it's really late to be planting watermelon, but I live in Florida and watermelon is going to grow. I'm going to get one before winter comes. They're growing so big. These are only a week old. I stopped all that dirt from happening on there. You can see they're trying to munch my leaves out again. I got to fix these ants that are running along my garden too. I don't know if you can see those little guys. But yeah, these are doing all right. They're growing. I put a stick in there to kind of hold it up. I got to put it closer. And they're going to grow and trail out. I made like a little cheap DIY bed. You can see I got tons of rocks back here in my soil. So these are doing great here. I thought they would. And it's creating like a little area so they get fed quite a bit. And these I'm giving a full nutrient system right now once every 2 weeks. And that's it for my watermelon. This is Charleston Gray. And that's it, guys. Watermelon likes a lot of water. I give them the same amount of water. And I just dug this out the other day. I planted 3 potatoes here. 1, 2, 3. So I'll see how that goes. I'll let you guys know as it's happening. Nothing yet that I can see. Big old branch that fell down from the tree. But I'll let you guys know. I hope that helped you in starting a garden. If you're looking to, just remember, you know, it's a lot of hard work to keep a garden. You got to be out there. You got to be looking for bugs. Let me tell you something about these bugs. These little leaf miners can happen overnight. Blight can happen overnight, and it can totally destruct your plant. So you can see this little leaf miners on here, and that will turn into this whole leaf by tomorrow if I don't take care of it. So make sure you're preventing bugs using a preventative once every 7 to 14 days so it doesn't give them bugs a little chance to get on there. If you live in an area where you're having problems with squirrels and stuff pinching your fruit before you do, at this stage you can definitely take it off. It's just starting to turn red, so it still has a little bit of green left in it, and I'm going to leave it on there just another day or so. And by tomorrow this should be ready to pick, being out in that sun. Check out this little set right here. This is a huge set starting. Oh, there goes a tomato. Did you see that? And that's fine. If your tomatoes drop, which they fall off so easy, this is really green. Leave it out in the sun by a windowsill and in the house, and it will ripen. It will start turning red on you if it's going to make it. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to show you and give you good advice about. You know, look, oh my gosh, I want to show you something. I did a video this morning on leaf miners. I'm trying not to get you guys dizzy, but look at this. Look at them little buggers. There was one little line on here this morning when I shot my video, and I'm going to get that on for you, I think. I'm going to try to find it, the video that I did. And this is crazy that these little buggers did this to my leaf within hours. So this is why I'm telling you guys this. Preventative treatment, I sprayed last night, and they're still spreading with that spray. So I got to get a little aggressive with this for a couple of days and go at full strength. You can see that this is starting to happen, this leaf curl stuff, and this is no good. This is either too much water, lack of water, shock, sunburn, or something starting to happen like leaf curl. Leaf curl is terrible. It stunts your plant. You don't really get produce out of it. and it can spread to other plants. So I might have to cut that out if that's leaf curl. But I'll see, guys. I think it's just lack of water a little bit. I'm going to water here. I hope that helps you in the best way possible. And I hope you enjoyed my garden. This is going to look a little different. I'm going to get beets and radish in here with some peppers. And this I treated. This is got blight, and I've been treating this for the past few days. So we'll see how this does. I'll let you guys know. If you're growing pumpkin, this is a jack-o'-lantern. And, you know, it's going to get, there's a first, oh my God, I got a pollination. Look at that. I've been waiting, and that's what I want to show you guys. It pollinated. That's a female, and I got a fruit starting. And I just cut this. Okay, now you have a main stem. This is your main stem of your pumpkin, right? There's one main stem, and when it gets about 6 to 8 feet long, you want to cut it off. And that's because it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and it's not going to create bushy growth and inside growth like these are. You can see all them flowers starting. You know, you're getting more leaves popping out, more flowers blooming, zucchini blossoms, more leaves, and that's what that does. You want to cut this first stem out, leave the secondary stem, and then this is what's going to happen. It's going to grow another head like pruning anything else. And I am so excited to see that. I got to be so careful I don't push it off. Yay, we got a pumpkin. Till next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope I have more on here to show you. Bye-bye.